Yo, new day, new day. Welcome back to playing Hollow Knight every day, or as I like to call it, whenever I feel like it. I don't want to be here right now. I don't have the energy for it. I don't know. I feel like I'm regressing in my yappings here because there was a point in time where I could just jump on and yap about absolutely anything for hours, and nothing would stop me. But I don't have shit to talk about. I've lost my. I feel like every time I come on, I need to have some sort of update on something I'm doing, if it's like a game or a show I'm watching or anything. But I have fucking nothing. Sure, I've played some minuscule amounts of something, but I'm not compelled to talk about them. But I guess that's what I'm doing here. I don't know. I don't feel passionate about. I don't know. I don't feel passionate about talking about fucking Risk of Rain 2. I don't feel compassionate. I don't feel compassionate. What the fuck? When did I learn learn how to drop that word? It clearly didn't. Anyway. I, I feel no excitement, talking about Risk of Rain 2, because there's nothing really to talk about. There's no story, there's no real, everything I need to talk about there, everything I've learned is just, I'm getting to Mithrix. I'm beating Mithrix. The only attack I'm really dying to is the attack that one shots you. Surprise, surprise. Otherwise, I'm doing pretty good, pretty well against Mithrix. But everything I'm talking about in Risk of Rain 2 is I memorize a bunch of items. I make some specific builds. I don't even make specific builds. That's the thing. I could talk about builds, but I can't. I don't have a specific build I go for. I just have some items, some random items in my head that I think, yeah, they're pretty good. They're decent. But nothing too, out there. It's the same with what else do I have of games to yap about? Potentially, I have Borrow Trauma, like the single player experience Borrow Trauma. I have some Dark Souls, which I do pretty much no progress on, Dark Souls 1, because I keep on dying. I have Deep Rock Galactic, which I don't really know what I'm doing half the time, but I don't know what the overall mission is. I don't know what the progress is. Disco Elysium I haven't touched in weeks, and I don't know why. I just haven't gotten the time for it. It sucks, but that's the truth. Not that I don't have the time for it, I just don't have the energy for it, because it's a story-heavy game. It's not a story game, but story-heavy. You really have to pay full attention to what's actually going on, because that's the entire point of the game. You are a detective, and you need to figure out stuff. And also, I don't know, I feel like the game is just slow, as in literally very slow, because the days are very slow. They are, time is real time in that game, which is crazy. And I don't think, you have some options to go to sleep and whatnot, but it's not you don't get the option to do that before, I think, 15 hours of gameplay or something, when the time is eventually right. And even then, you gotta go through, there are some time-locked events. For example, there was a guy hanging out on a balcony, then I said the wrong things to him because they don't... I don't know, I think I immediately outed myself as a cop, and this guy does not like cops. He just gave me a fake name and pissed off, and now he's only gonna go back at 9 p.m. I think some lady told me, and I don't even know if I have anything left to explore in this area other than just to wait. It would suck if I just had to wait, but I don't think... I think there's more to it that I just haven't found out. But again, I haven't played in such a long while that I don't really know how to pick back up. Of course, that's like the easiest part. That's also the part I'm working on. Is because I get stuck in this a lot of the time. I just have like an 8-hour session of me having the Steam, my Steam library open, the Steam page open, and just raw dogging, sitting there, contemplating what should I do, and the conclusion I come to 90% of the time is, oh, I'm gonna do nothing. Maybe I could play some Hollow Knight, but I have nothing to talk about, and that's kind of the circle I'm in right now. That's the evil cycle of life, as it is very popularly called. Oh, thunder! So yeah, not a lot going on. Also, fucking One Piece is on break right now. I can't talk about the new chapters. Also, without spoiling my good friend roommate man, because a lot of the things happening right now is very spoiler heavy. Hunter x Hunter is on break again. For not even on break, just hiatus, I guess. Which, I mean, it sucks, but I know that it's still in progress. It's still being worked on, at least. I think Togashi is like 50 chapters ahead or something, which is fucking insane. I think the problem he has is just he has written the chapters, he just can't really draw them, which makes sense in terms of his fucking the condition of his back. He has been fucked over. He's the poster boy of how the industry fucks their authors over. So, he has a bit of a problem, but he's still working on material, which is great. A lot of people are like, mathing their math in terms of, oh, we're still gonna be on the Black Whale for like 200 chapters, but that's not considering any like time skips, or if the hunt is just the trip is cut short for some reason. I'm still expecting at some point, for some reason, I'm expecting the Black Whale to completely crash and sink. Because there is a part of the Black Whale that is, at the very top of the Black Whale. It's in different tiers, right? Tier 1 is its entire own ship, just floating on top of another ship, which is pretty cool. But it would be even cooler if it actually came into play that, oh, there's a reason, this is the main reason that Tier 1 of the Black Whale is so much safer, is because it's literally its entire own ship. I'm expecting something to happen there, and I don't know if... I'm expecting it to be kind of a Chimera Ant invasion type thingy, where... for the next 50 chapters or something, there's gonna pass like maybe a day. The time is gonna be fucking slow, but so much is also gonna happen, because also we're probably gonna get a flashback to what happened, right before martial law was declared. Because there's gonna be a good fucking reason for that. There's also gonna be a good reason for, First Prince Benjamin to actually be fucking poisoned. Like, why was he poisoned? How was he poisoned? What's the plan? Who poisoned him? It's probably Hulkenberg, but also, is Hulkenberg still in the body of Benjamin's subordinate, his right-hand fella guy? Is he still in the body of him, or is he now in the body of Benjamin? Which would, I don't know, how would that declare the winner of the succession war? And also, like, if there are so many fucking questions concerning both Hulkenberg and Benjamin right now that we don't know the answers to whatsoever. But at the very least, I'm expecting Hulkenberg's body, at the very least, to be dead, to be gone. So, to some degree, Hulkenberg is gonna win the contest, if he's even gonna win, if we even gonna get a winner. If he wins, he's not gonna win in his own body, he's gonna win in the body of either, well, pretty much anyone is on the table here, right? As long as he hits with this arrow. My theory is still, even though, as much as I would like Hulkenberg to win, I think he's eventually gonna get got by somebody that is gonna dodge his arrow, because his arrow is how he, you know, actually fucking changes bodies and kills and whatever. That's the method of his things, of his doings. So, I think he's gonna get got at some point, because that's a pretty big fucking vulnerability, that if he misses, he dies. That's a pretty big vulnerability right there. And seeing as one of the princes, specifically 4th Prince Sereitnik, he has literal fucking future sight that he's working on perfecting right now. I know that they're like kind of buddies. I know that they're have sort of an alliance going on, but if it comes down to the two of them, it's 100% gonna be Sereitnik that wins. If they have any sort of encounter, Sereitnik is gonna win. And I expect this to be like late game Black Whale arc, but who really knows? It could be right around the corner. Who fucking knows? There are, again, so much shit is going on in terms of just story per chapter. Again, like, there's a bunch of memes going around, like, oh, every single chapter of Hunter x Hunter has like 10,000 words or something. I haven't fucking counted. I don't know if that's just a number, but it seems like there's a bit too many people saying it for it to be like just a joke, right? But also so much happens, like it's not just nothing filler words, right? Some of it is, sure, you can't dodge all that, right? But, you know, overall, there is so much going on in Hunter x Hunter right now, and it is, like, every single chapter is a new fucking bombshell. And I was even surprised that we got 10 chapters in a row, because that's, like, that's fucking unheard of. And even the fact that he's still working on it, and it's probably gonna be next year that we get more chapters, it is fucking insane. Pretty goated, pretty funny, pretty good times we live in. Yeah, 2025 is gonna be a hell of a fucking year. There's gonna be, we're moving into fucking Elbaf of One Piece. Hunter x Hunter is probably coming back. In terms of games, there are a lot of games I need to catch up on. Coming out, for now, I know that Borderlands 4, there are some plans for that. The Witcher 4, also some plans for that. Monster Hunter Wilds, also some plans for that. Maybe Silksong, who knows? It's probably going to be released with the Switch too. That might just be copium, but hey, we're out here, right? We're out here grinding. Also, I have heard rumors that GTA 6 is actually gonna be released in 2025. I don't know if that's true. I've only heard it in one place, and I feel like I would have heard more buzz about it if it was actually canon info. But who knows? It might be. Also, a fucking, I don't know if it's a new game or like just another DLC, but another Elden Ring game is coming at some point. I think in February. Fucking Elden Ring Night Reign. It looks like a lot of the people who actually know the lore of Elden Ring says that, oh, this looks like a whole new fucking game. But oof, I don't know what I would actually prefer. Um. Oh yeah. Also, another Ghost of Tsushima game is coming out. Ghost of something is supposed to come out too. There's a lot of shit going on in terms of the roster of 2025, which I know that I cannot get around to every single one of them, and yeah, shit, I might be cooked in terms of even trying to keep up with all of it. I think the ones I'm probably gonna tap into are, you know, of course, Monster Hunter and Elden Ring. I would like to get my grubby hands on The Witcher 4, but I'm not gonna play that after I play all of the other Witcher games, which I have played only like a half of. I played The Witcher 1 at some point, and then I softlocked myself at the very end of chapter 2 or 3. Not fun, but it is what it is. The game itself was actually pretty goated, pretty funny, pretty funsies, as they say. Nobody says that. But I want to get back into it, but I just can't. I don't know. Again, I'm just here, just doing nothing about it. I have this huge backlog of games, and I just sit here rotting instead. Not the greatest feat of my life, not the proudest moment of my entire career, but it is what it is. I also have a huge fucking backlog of just shows I need to watch. Both, like, you know, IRL normie shows, and also so many fucking like animes that are beginning to get up there in years, because I just haven't watched them. They've been on my watch list forever, but I haven't even begun watching them. One that I am currently watching on the side is Fire Force, which I have watched Fire Force before, or I've tried at least, and it was so fucking boring, but it pains me so much, because I still to this day believe that Fire Force has the single best opening of any anime. Inferno, I think it's called. Give it a listen. It's peak, it's goated. But, you know, every time, there was a point in time like 2 or 3 years ago, maybe even 4 years ago, that I watched Fire Force, and just every single episode I would watch, I was literally falling asleep to. And I didn't want to fall asleep to it, because I knew that, like, this shit looked like something for me. But there was just something about it. I don't know, maybe my sleep schedule was just fucked, and I blamed it on the show instead. That could be very possible. But, you know, it's still, from what I've seen so far, it's a pretty decent show. Nothing too, like, crazy. The only thing crazy about it is, again, its fucking opening. It is insane. I've heard the opening for season 2 is kinda mid. But it's supposedly, it feels a lot like a shonen. You know, we have a teenage boy with some powers that he can't really control, and then he has to learn to control them, and he has a mysterious backstory that we need to figure out, and potentially a big bad that is kinda interested in him, and his powers to control fire and whatnot. I don't know. It doesn't really feel like this guy's special in any way, because he's just part of like a generation of people that can control fire, right? Like we have, I don't actually know what the first generation, it's like divided up in generations. We have the first generation, which I don't know pretty much anything about. Second generation can like control fires, and the third generation can produce fire. like on their bodies. I'm assuming the 4th generation is that they can produce flames outside their body within like a certain range or something. But it's essentially the further down you are on the generation pole, the stronger you are, but you know, of course, also the less experience you have. So it doesn't seem like this guy is that special. So I don't know why anyone would like really take such an interest in him. But of course there is the, you know, it's kind of like unlocking some special power that not a lot of people have. See, like, for example, if quirks in My Hero were, like, special and not a lot of people had them, I could see that being something interesting, right? You know, just some sort of power, like a stand in JoJo's, right? Something like that. But the point is here, I don't know. These powers come from somewhere, right? And I don't. That's the big mystery here, is that we don't know where the hell these powers even come from. Did I get that? I got that. All right. We have no fucking idea where these powers actually come from. But it's clear that the higher-ups and the older guys think that these powers come from somewhere. And the fact that people randomly explode and turn into flame guys, oh yeah, that's a thing. People, just random citizens, turn into infernals. That's just a thing that happens, and that's the... to counter this is the Special Fire Forces. Wow, title drop, right? That are basically going out and killing these guys. In the public eye, they are just, you know, exercising them, but in reality, they're going in like fucking guns blazing, killing these guys, putting them to rest. It's pretty early on. It's getting clear that you can somewhat resist these powers, because one of the Infernals ends up just being like a dad, who just turns into an infernal, but he's not aggressive, he doesn't lose control, he just kind of sits there and just chills, waiting for his death, waiting for the fire guys to show up. Another one is a firefighter who has been a firefighter for years, who suddenly turns into an infernal. But he is very conscious, he is very... he just moves and talks and feels like a guy. To be fair, a very psychopathic guy who is a literal fucking murderer, but you know, he's just a guy. So, you know, if he wasn't a murderer, if he wasn't already a bad guy, if he turned into an infernal and he was just kind of, again, sitting there, just like the dad, would they do anything about that? I don't know. I'm expecting that to be answered at some point, because there seems to, in this Fire Division Corps, Fire Force, yeah, wow, title drop again. There seems to be very opposing views of this, and like, it's like there are politically right and wrong answers to these things, but the wrong answers are usually right, which is the funny part of this whole thing. Not so funny, but it's, you know, entertaining at the very least. So, you know, again, these powers, they do come from somewhere. Just to backtrack a little bit, these powers do come from somewhere, and it's spawned because of something. They didn't just, you know, they showed up and someday, and they never really left. It also, I didn't remember this, but it kind of seems like they are trapped as a society in this, like, you know, apocalypse version of Japan, kind of like the Iron Fortress, where there are small settlements around the country, protected mostly from this infestation. I don't really know specifically what the infestation is, but I'm gonna assume that it's just people turning into infernals, and that's the entire thing. God damn it! Shit. Every time I need him to not do a 1-inch jump, he does a 1-inch jump. I hate this collector guy. But yeah, I'm excited to find out more. But again, I just need to commit to actually sitting down and watching this. God damn it. 25 minutes, that was a surprisingly good time for collector. Oh well. Didn't make it past him, so this run is officially dog shit. Oh well, I'm heading out. I'm gonna, I don't know, do something. Later, fellas.